we have another nominee for the Marion Lindblad-Goldberg Award for 2025. We are so excited today. We have Dee Laser with us from Family Services of Northwestern Pennsylvania. Hi, Dee.
Hello.
Hey. And we have her program supervisor here, Leanna, and former teammate, Hannah. So we're going to be hearing all about Dee. And I already told her to take some deep breaths and just take it in. So I'm going to start with you, Leanna, the program supervisor, and wanted to find out from you, why are you not surprised that Dee has been nominated for this award?
I am not at all surprised that she was nominated. Dee is just so warm towards everybody. She's thoughtful with other people and with the families that she works with. She's super passionate about the work that she does. So it was definitely no surprise to us that she was nominated.
I love how you describe that. One of the things when we think about the legacy of this award and Dr. Marion Lindblad-Goldberg and how, she was showing up in her community in a way that had never been done before, right? Like you're going to go right to the family and you're going to see their strengths and not focus on, where, they're failing. Like, what is this? Right. And then you have Dee who comes in and meets with these families and finds a way to elevate these caregivers and turn to them collaboratively. And many of them having 4, 5, 6 other services involved and never having experienced somebody in this position of leadership wanting them to stand next to them, right? I mean, it's really a sight to see. Speaking of Dee's leadership, tell me what you appreciate about, like, what have you seen Dee do with her leadership as a member of, your program, and I believe your most tenured member of your program.
Yeah, that is so important to us that she has been here. She's been through, many supervisors, several partners. She has seen so much, but she is never afraid to share her knowledge in a way that is helpful and that shows, what her passion is in life, which is to just help other people. And she comes to our peer meetings just ready to share her successes, but also her frustrations and struggles. It's just so evident that she believes in the model. So as far as her leadership goes, like you can't help but to like absorb that from her because she believes so much in the model because she has seen families succeed in her implementing the model. So yeah, she is definitely a leader. I'm a fairly new supervisor and she helps me out all the time. So she's never afraid to like step in, and help out where it's needed.
When adversity shows up, because I think that is part of being a family-based therapist in this program, what have you seen Dee do? Is there a story that sticks out to you or a moment that sticks out to you particularly?
I think Dee just really understands and talks a lot about other people's lived experiences. Like, she really considers the whole situation in times of adversity. She doesn't, jump to make quick decisions. She really listens to the family or listens to our team. She really listens to understand. And I can think of numerous videos of Dee's that I've watched where she is really working on following the model and thinking about how to intervene with the family just so intentionally. So there are many, many examples of Dee that we can just see her working the model and turning to her teammate. She often turns to me in supervision and wants to like work problems out as she goes. So, um, she, like the rest of us, can also, she worries about her clients and she cares deeply for them. But I think she's just very good at, listening and being attentive and being very intentional in her work.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, you're not wrong, right? Let's jump over to Hannah. So Hannah, you were Dee's previous partner, right? How long were you guys partnered for?
We were partnered for about 2 years.
All right.
Yep.
So why are you not surprised that Dee was nominated?
I feel like D is just kind of the epitome of what this award stands for. She, was my first partner. I was brand new, and she taught me how to work the model and how, to be intentional with families. And it's something that I, am forever grateful for because she was super helpful and just so she was always there. Like we had a lot of changes happening like while we were partnered just in our program, and she was the one constant that you could always turn to. And she just comes to families' homes with such an open mind and ready to help them.
So how has her dedication impacted your growth, Hannah?
Oh, I mean, it's just, I would definitely say that she is one of the reasons that I like am still working this job, because her passion for it definitely inspired me
Mhm.
and has helped me like grow my passion for this job. And she's always, looking for different ways to reach a family and looking for, different ways to help them. And she is always, just so dedicated to doing what she does.
Wow. Are there any memories or moments of her leadership that just stick out to you that you're like, I have to share this, like I have to like, because you appreciate her leadership so much?
Oh gosh, there's so many. There's definitely been times where I was probably newer and she, we had to say the really hard thing in sessions, and
Mhm.
it wasn't something that I necessarily was prepared for just because I was brand new, but she just took it and ran with it. And, it was definitely a pivotal moment in working with that family because they really, were able to kind of open their eyes to what we were seeing. And it definitely changed things for the better.
Yeah, I appreciate how you've like described that experience as a trainer for the Western region, have had a very similar experience, initially in boosters, and then as D has been integrated into the other trainings. There is a willingness that D can turn on. Um, and I think the piece that's so impactful, and it's a little emotional, right? Because like I see this thing that like you can't necessarily teach people.
Yeah.
And there's this part of her that when she can see how something she can work on will service a family, it could be the most unbearably feeling thing for her in that moment. And I watch her every time that she's presenting choose without hesitation to lean into it, to understand what's happening for her more, and to just go for it, right? Like,
Yeah.
um, I think that she has, maybe unbeknownst to herself, developed this commitment to her own growth and development to service families. And that is the one thing that creates exceptional therapeutic leadership. That when somebody can commit to their own growth because they understand, um, that the outcome will be so impactful that they can just keep their eye on, moving through this moment. she becomes so relentless with it that over the years, every time Dee has presented, luckily for me and the training center, it has resulted in a series of sessions that then become part of our training library, that get utilized in specialized workshops and all over the world. All over, like as far as the country of Georgia and as close as the county next door. She also has such a humble stance to her as well, right?
So yeah.
And it just, I appreciate how you're narrating that, because I too have had that experience with Dee. If anything, that's the desire to like, let me grow it, over here quietly, Jen, right? Just let me be over here. I'm happy to grow, but can we not be so public about it? Right? That's why I was also thrilled that Dee, in accepting this nomination, we were able to get together and videotape, to really celebrate you. So, Dee will be able to share this video with her family and friends so they can not be surprised and hear wonderful things about her. So I want to turn to Dee, and I wonder for you, Dee, what does it mean to you to be recognized as having the same passion and commitment as Dr. Marion Lindblad-Goldberg?
Well, first, I just want to thank all of you for those kind things. I'm truly touched. And when I first learned of the nomination, I was surprised, and definitely humbled because, just that somebody would consider me, my passion and commitment in the same category, as somebody who's been so instrumental in this work, with family systems, as Marion Lindblad-Goldberg. It just was truly an honor, to receive the nomination. So there was some validation. It was good to hear that other people have observed like my work ethic and my commitment and dedication, and really just value the contributions that I've made in this field as well.
This is not easy work, and we're talking about 11 and a half years. What sustains you and inspires you in this work?
I think this is something I am super excited to share, because I think the power of connection is definitely something that inspires me every day. Being able to like see families be able to learn and communicate with one another in a new way to, heal and grow. It just is an incredibly rewarding thing. But, additionally, Hannah and Leanna have talked about how I inspire them, and I feel the same way. I'm truly inspired by the people, like Hannah and Leanna, who share in this mission, and they push me, every day, like motivate me to and want to continue to instill hope in other families. So those relationships that I've fostered, it's really inspired me in a way to keep growing. I talk about this all the time. So Leanna and Hannah have heard this all the time, but there's always like that breakthrough moment, right? That you can sense with every single family. You can just pinpoint when all of a sudden they are able to turn to one another and reconnect. A child feels heard, and then like hope is restored, and it's like, oh, this wonderful moment, and all of a sudden now they're able to do things completely different. And I think that those are the moments that truly sustain me and keep me going in this challenging work that we do.
And that's why it's like, it's always good to, slowly put the new cases on the case list. So how have, the challenges and adversity that come with providing family-based therapy, how have they contributed to your growth and development?
It's definitely a powerful catalyst to growth and development, right? It
You gotta
helps.
want to grow. You
Yeah.
gotta want to grow.
Yes, you have to like really deepen your skills. I think broaden your perspective, learn to adapt quickly from, you know, having multiple partners to, you know, having high risk cases to working in complex systems, dealing with ecosystemic therapy or doing this line of work. You know, it requires you to have an openness to being able to see problems from multiple aspects and work collaboratively with families towards a solution. When faced with those challenges, I've learned to like lean into curiosity. All three of you women have helped me in that area. You know, to lean into curiosity and really, rather than frustration, because that can be a challenge sometimes, and really truly deepen your understanding versus trying to control the situation, which can be difficult to do as well. But that shift in perspective, I think, has made me a more effective person in this line of work. It's really reinforced, I think, my belief in the strength and resourcefulness of families. So,
Well, Dee, we just all want to say congratulations, right? Everybody, congratulations, Dee. So for those of you watching, I'm sure you are feeling warm and fuzzy all over and like, oh my gosh, of course Dee was nominated, right? So we're so glad that you joined us to hear about our nominee. And we will be announcing our nominee June 2nd at the program directors meeting. For those of you who have not already, make sure you subscribe to the blog and get your password so you can access our password protected content. Check us out on our social medias where you can see other posts about Dee and some of the other nominees as well. So I hope you all have a great day and we'll see you later. Bye, y'all.